Tyler from Aspire Sports. I'm going to be talking about the Joe Burrow injury news and kind of all the fantasy implications that come along with it, and also give you some streaming options at the quarterback position if you had them this week. So I think it's very sad. Obviously, the injury news. It sucks as a just a fan of football. It sucks because you hate to see a young player. You hate to see anybody get hurt, but especially a young player that it was going to be a really fun matchup with him and Justin Herbert to see who wins the offensive rookie of the year. So it sucks. The Bengals team I think has so much potential going forward. They're a young offensive team. The defense obviously needs to get better. So does the offensive line a little bit, but they have so much talent right now and so much potential. I think this means that Joe Mixon now is probably not coming back for the season. Why bring him back when you have nothing to play for and now your best offensive player just got hurt? So it's saddening. It was sad to see him laying there hurt. You hate to see it. So I mean that's all I really have to say. It's a bummer. The Pro Football Doc does say he expects him to be back at the beginning of next season, so at least that's a good positive. But I hope him, the speediest of recoveries and come back stronger than ever. Good luck, Joey. So with that being said, what are kind of the fantasy implications now of this injury? What are the ripple effects? Well, I think right now you definitely have to downgrade this passing attack. Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins now, in my opinion, get big downgrades going to Ryan Finley. So this is not a passing attack that I really want part of. Yes, if you have those two guys, they look really good, but at the same time, this is no Joe Burrow taking over the offense. They'll probably still pass the ball a ton, so it gives them some good volume, but you definitely have to downgrade both of these guys heading into the rest of the season. And then obviously, if you have Joe Mixon, if somebody will take something for him, because there is the report that he'll be coming back by week 14, maybe he comes back. In my opinion, I don't expect to see him back with this injury news now. Why bring him back? Why bring him back when you just signed him to a big contract? Bring him back next year. You'll have all these guys back. So to me, it makes the most sense. I would 100% try to go out, see if somebody will take Joe Mixon from you. If not, I think it's okay to cut him. And if you have Giovanni Bernard, the outlook does not look good. It really doesn't look good. This team, I don't think, has much potential without Joey Burrow behind center. So in my opinion, a lot of these guys, I wouldn't cut loose with Giovanni Bernard because he's still a starting running back, and starting running backs are extremely hard to come by. But at the same time, he's no longer like a plug and play RB2, possibly RB1. You definitely have to downgrade him a decent amount. So, yes, fantasy outlook doesn't look too good for this Bengals team going forward. Now, how do you replace him? Obviously, the first option here is going to be Taysom Hill. Obviously, no brainer. Add him if he's available. Played actually pretty well in this game. Now, let's also say it was against Atlanta. Atlanta is one of the worst defenses in the league in terms of the pass. So, but he has the rushing ability, which is definitely something you want. So, I think he's a top ad this week, 100%. Go out, get him if he's available. Next is going to be Baker Mayfield. Baker plays Jacksonville next week, who Big Ben, just had a pretty good game against. And Jacksonville was missing a lot of defensive backs at the end of the game. A lot of them were getting hurt. I don't know how serious these injuries were, but they were out a couple of defensive backs heading into the game, and then also out, got hurt a couple of defensive backs throughout the game. So might be very thin at the cornerback position next week against this team. I think this is a team that's honestly just going to go in there and run the ball, but Baker might get, like in the 15-point range, 12 to 15-point range. So if you absolutely need somebody, he could have a decent week next week. Next is going to be Derek Carr. Derek Carr gets Atlanta, who we just saw Taysom Hill beat up Atlanta. Everyone's been beating up Atlanta this year. So if you need somebody, go out there, get at Derek Carr. He's a decent streaming option this week. Right now, he's 36% rostered, so it's probably still available. Go out and get him if you need somebody to stream this week. Next would be Andy Dalton. This is more like if you're kind of desperate. I do think he's playing decently well in this game right now against Minnesota. Next week, he gets Washington, who Washington I do think probably gets to him a little bit more. I don't know if I expect him to be having a big week, but this is just a good offense around him. I know the offensive line kind of isn't that good anymore, but he has really good skill guys, and Cooper, CD, and Gallup, and also Zeke. Those are pretty good options to have around you. So he has potential in this offense. It's just about the offensive line. Can they protect him, and can he get the ball out where it needs to be? Next, the last one, the last one is going to be Alex Smith. Now you're just playing matchups when you're streaming quarterbacks, and next week he has a very good matchup against Dallas. So it has been great, but against Dallas, hey, you never know. Maybe he could hit some passes here. So if you're absolutely desperate, and he's probably still there, obviously, if you're really, really desperate in like a 2 quarterback league or something like that, hey, maybe pick him up, maybe throw him out there in a deeper league, 14 team league, something like that. Hey, sure, whatever. I'm trying to give you some options here. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you like this content, and thank you. Have a great day.